Welcome everyone to the first ever Fortcast Friday episode 1, where Ned and I will just talk a bunch of random shit and it's a way of scamming me to play Fortnite with her.
Wow.
I will
How is
that
this the formal version of the
that will be
introduction?
the YouTube start. But yes, welcome everyone to Fortcast Fridays. This is the first episode. I will be hosting today's episode because for some reason I'm not too sure which flip coin worked. But I'm here with Natalie Tay, co-founder and my partner for Cham Drinkers. And we... My brain fucked.
You're doing an excellent job of hosting.
Look, it's the first time. Oh, shit. It's my first time. I'm sure that'll be fine. That's a good enough intro. But yes, chat, we have 5 main topics that we will be talking about, but it mostly revolves around who we are, Natalie and I, as well as who we are as Chum Drinkers, and also the plans of the Chum Drinkers in the future, and also just the streaming ecosystem in general, because that has been a very strong interest for the both of us.
Yeah, I mean, just to kick it off, I think even from the moment we met, okay lah, maybe not immediately from the moment that we met, but
It's not the first conversation.
definitely like the foundation of our friendship here on Twitch has been very focused on streaming, and I think we naturally like gravitated towards each other because we both kind of exist in the marketing spheres.
Yep.
And so a lot of
Nickname is
our
actually
conversations even before this have been about you know unintentionally almost have been about streaming and marketing when it comes to Twitch, and just like what it's like to exist as a content creator in like this age. I think if you scroll back to a lot of like the older Fortnite episodes, our conversations in fact have kind of leaned towards that. And really, like, Fortnite has been a big part of that. Like, we used to do a series where we played Fortnite every Friday called Fortnite Fridays.
Yep.
And then it kind of evolved into us like just chilling in Fortnite by ourselves, and oh, I'm gonna die.
That was a very chaotic start to our podcast, isn't it?
Yep. But it evolved into us brainstorming about Cham Drinkers. I distinctly remember us coming up with the idea of Cham Drinkers while playing Fortnite. And this was offline.
Literally, Fortnite was literally the start of everything. Somehow, it was the start of everything, with Chum Drinkers and Ned and I working together.
Yeah, and even when we started the Cham Drinkers and we did like meetings for the Cham Drinkers as we decided what we wanted to do with the team and just like future plans, all of our meetings were on Fortnite. This is just like so it's a weird like poetic cycle.
But like I said, it's a scam of getting people to play Fortnite. Don't fall for it, chat.
It's just my scam. It's my long con.
Yep. That's the end goal, is to get everyone to start playing Fortnite. I mean, the fact that you got Atlas to play it and buy the battle pass the day after.
I mean, okay guys, like, I did not coerce Atlas into getting the battle pass, okay? He just played with us, and then he had the urge to get the battle pass by himself. I didn't even hard sell it or anything. Right? I didn't. He totally like bought it himself. But to be fair, the battle pass on Fortnite is probably one of the more affordable battle passes.
True. It does actually reward you after you finish the battle pass that you get enough coins back whatever the
Oh
in-game
yeah,
currency is called.
V-Bucks.
V-Bucks, yeah, that's what it's called.
Ah,
I've been doing a lot of
oh my
research
god,
on Roblox, so the only in-game currency I know is Robux.
Robux. But yeah, so Fortnite has a weird and storied history in our like friendship.
It really has. It's weird. It's weird, but it's nice.
Yeah,
And the fact that we're
and now we're
doing,
doing a podcast about it.
yeah, it's just poetic, really, at this point. It's come full circle, like you mentioned. But yes, finally, now that it's a bit more quiet, a proper introduction of who we are individually as streamers. So, Nat, would you like to start with who you are and how your streaming career has been, so to speak?
Wow, I love how after all of that you are typing to me to start.
I am the host, you are the guest, you have to start first. That's how it works, right?
Not the guest, I'm the co-host. Okay, but fine, I will go first.
Mm.
It's fine. I am, generous like that. Also, shall we go and deal with them?
Yes, it's probably the banana man.
But yeah, so I started streaming. Ooh, I guess this is probably the easiest time to explain it because I just hit my 1 year affiliate anniversary. And I started streaming a month before that, so I've been streaming for a year and a month.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of have a funny streaming like origin story though, because I didn't technically start streaming on my own channel. Like I didn't start streaming as a solo act.
Mm.
And I think those who are familiar with my channel at this point might know my origin story, which is that I actually started streaming over on the Magic Rain's channel, which if you don't know what the Magic Rain is, it is this volunteer group that I'm a part of that is all about anime and cosplay and gaming, and it's mostly an event organizing team. But there was a brief period in time when they were trying to expand into streaming on Twitch, and I was basically thrown into the pit as a sacrifice, as like, we need programming, so Nat, go and make one of the programs, go and do a program.
Sacrifice.
Also, if you need this.
What's that? Actually, yes.
Shields.
Please.
So for a brief period of time, I did a series there called Indie Jam, where I spotlighted indie games. And actually, saying it was a brief period of time might be wrong, because it went on for quite some time.
How long did it go for, if you remember?
I don't remember the exact number, but it must have been at least 5 months, I think. 4 or 5 months.
Oh wow, actually.
Yeah, it was pretty long. So that's kind of where I started streaming, and then the streaming bug kind of got me from there, because I started to have the desire to stream things other than indie games. Because that's the thing about starting with a predetermined format, right? You kind of have to stick to it, especially when you're doing it as part of a group of streamers as opposed to an individual streamer. That's like less freedom in that sense.
Yeah, like less control for what you can do.
Yeah, and so I wanted to do. Also, we're gonna get caught in the storm.
Oh right. I was not paying attention.
But yeah, I started to have the desire to stream AAA games, which obviously is not something that can happen if
It's
you
the
have a
banana
show
man.
called, Indie Jam, then trying to play AAA games. So that's when I started to stream on my personal channel, and it's been 1 year and 1 month since.
So you technically have been streaming for a total of a year and a half then.
Yeah. Technically. Technically. If you want to be
yes.
technical about it.
Okay. So, so that's basically your origin story of the fact that you wanted to do more than just indie, huh?
Yeah, and I don't think things have changed that much since then. Like, obviously, I've done a lot more different types of content since then. But I think for the most part, my channel is still the same.
Mm.
I do a lot of story-based games and AAA games, and mainly games that I never got the chance to play when I was younger. And I really
Mm-hmm.
like the way that Brownie described it to me one day, the other day actually.
Which
Brownie was
was?
saying, my channel actually feels quite nostalgic for people who have been gaming since they were younger. Because I'm playing games that people haven't touched in years, that have
True.
gone in and out of like the popular cycle already. By the
Mm-hmm.
time I play them, nobody's talking about them.
Except for except for tomorrow? Tomorrow. Except for tomorrow.
Yeah, except for tomorrow when I play God of War Ragnarok.
Yes.
Or on the very, very rare occasion that, I play games that are actually popular at like in the moment.
True.
But
So
yeah, that's
blue
kind of what
chromatic if you want.
the channel has been like since the very beginning, and yeah, I guess that's a pretty good overview.
Okay.
So what's yours?
So yeah, so I guess it's my turn then. Basically the reason why I started streaming was as everyone felt during the pandemic, which was loneliness. Um, I started streaming because I was also unemployed at that time. So I had really nothing else going on in life.
I mean, you say unemployed, but you were just graduated then, right?
Yeah. So it was very difficult as well to find job because the start of the pandemic, everyone is scaling down. I think I started streaming pretty much like the third month into lockdown or second month in. And at that time, I I was streaming from my laptop as well, so it was very difficult for me to stream like the games that I really wanted to. And the first game that I played, and I still remember this on stream, is actually Terraria. The reason why I remember that is because when I kept playing Terraria, my first 24-hour stream was Terraria for a very stupid reason, and that's because I hit the 12th hour by accident. I'm like, I'll just continue more. It was completely impromptu. I had no plans. All I knew was that I wanted to play games. And
Wait,
I don't have a key anymore.
so how long was that? Like,
No, I do. It ended up being a 24-hour stream. And I
yeah,
think that was like my fourth or fifth stream in its entirety.
that's so intense.
Yeah. Because I was just completely lonely. Like, I had people. I was completely lonely. I had nothing to do.
Oh, there's people.
Yeah.
Where's the people?
Blue guy, that direction.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I was like completely lonely. I have at that time, a lot of my friends were still busy studying, so if I wanted to have a chat with them, it was very difficult to find time. And like yeah, I was unemployed. I already finished studying as well at that time. Completely nothing to do, and just the fact that I felt very. Ooh, what the?
Oh yeah, glue gun.
I did not know the glue gun hits that hard.
Yep.
Oh, interesting. So yeah, I was like, so I started just watching streams a lot during the start of the pandemic.
Oh, were you not like a Twitch viewer before that?
Nope. I've heard of Twitch, I know the streamers, but I never really joined in for their streams. I mainly watched their YouTube content. And the sort of initial start of streaming was when I was watching this VTuber, Noemi. She's an Apex player. But when I was watching her, I didn't know she was actually Malaysian.
Oh.
Yeah, she was like she was a relatively small streamer at that time. She had a following like around 1.2, around I think 1.2 ish. But I was like just watching her because she was fun, and the fact that she was a very good Apex player. And then she said that she was Malaysian or something. I was like, huh, that's interesting. And then I just thought to myself, like, I didn't know Malaysians actually do stream on Twitch. I thought it was like mainly the Western people, like the US and the UK.
The Western people.
I'm not wrong. They are the West compared to us. So yeah, when I found out that there's like actually Asian people, or like Malaysian specifically, that was streaming a lot, that's when I was like, you know what, I'll give it a try. And yeah, I played Terraria because I was streaming on my laptop at that time.
So wait, so as of today, how long have you been streaming for?
I genuinely do not know, because I do not. Okay, let me go to my Twitch real quick, because I know I have my milestones there. I don't remember the date exactly, sadly. But I have reached my 1 year anniversary earlier this year.
Yeah, from my memory, you've been streaming just slightly longer than me. I think by a few months.
Yeah, should be. Can you also? I forgot I was supposed to restart Fortnite.
Do you want to restart Fortnite now?
Nah, it's fine.
Okay.
Okay, I don't have the first starting stream, but I do have my affiliate milestone, which was the 3rd of, I am bad with my months, January, February, March, April, May, June, 3rd of June. And I think it took me about a month and a half or 2 to reach, so it's probably April, May-ish when I first started stream. Yeah, that sounds about right, around April, May. But yeah, that's basically the reason why I started streaming and why I started getting into Twitch, because I was just a lonely person.
Oh, you make it sound so sad. But I think a lot of people got into streaming around the same time that we did. Although mine was a bit more quote unquote interesting because it came from the Magic Rain wanting to do it as kind of a business decision. But you know, I think the reasoning is the same. It's just that a lot of people turned to streaming during the pandemic.
Yeah, definitely.
It's really interesting to like think about it in retrospect, because we're pretty much out of it, right? COVID is pretty much under control at this point.
Somewhat in control, yes.
Somewhat under control at this point. But you know, life is kind of turning back to normal, or relative normalcy.
And you just disconnected in-game.
No, I'm back.
No, you just
you have
disconnected.
to come out of the match for us to like. Oh wait, can I press watch?
Where the hell did he go?
I think I can watch your match.
Yeah, I'm finding Goku and a box kid.
Back in Burning with Arson. Let's go. But yeah, what were we talking about? You go, dude.
What were we talking about? I think we were just about to end what my streaming intro is. My start.
Oh yeah,
streaming.
I guess TLDR before my stream DC'd. We were chatting about the pandemic and how that kickstarted a lot of people like streaming. And how you make it sound so sad that you started streaming because you were lonely. But I think that was technically true for a lot of people who started streaming during the pandemic. they started because they wanted some form of connection when everybody was isolated from each other, and yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's
I mean, it
natural.
doesn't help the fact that I am depressed, so the loneliness was definitely a hard hitter, and I think a lot of people felt that as well. Um, so the next point, I guess, is about how we view streaming today, and if we have any future plans of expanding outside of streaming. So like content creation, because I know you've been posting a lot on your TikTok. You posted one recently. Go check her out with a new keyboard.
Oh yes, keyboard ASMR. But yeah, to answer your question, I think I feel like the way that like streaming has definitely changed for me um over the year actually, not even years, but over the 1 year that I've been streaming. And it feels really insane to even talk about it actually, because 1 year feels both like an impossible number and also like way too short at the same time. Like it feels way too short and way too long at the same time.
Oh yeah, no,
And
I definitely get you.
right? And I think it's because as a streamer, right? And I think especially at how often I was streaming um, at a certain point, when you're streaming 4 to sometimes like 5 times a week, or even like minimum 3 times a week, right? It
Hmm.
feels like streaming is just an everyday thing. And if you break down a year into the number of times that you streamed in that year, I'm sure that number, if I ever tabulate it, is gonna feel insane to me, because it feels like I've been doing this forever, but in reality I've only been doing this for a year.
Can you just imagine the number of hours you've sunken into streaming?
I'm sure I can check somewhere. I think there's a Twitch like stat
I
for
think
that
you,
actually.
I think you can on Twitch Tracker if
I'm
you want to have a look at that later.
scared. I'm scared to see the number.
I used to sink so many hours into streaming. It was really just like thinking about it. I was thinking about it yesterday when I was finalizing the outline. I was like, huh, I wonder how many hours I've sunken in. I didn't check because I kind of forgot to, because I was just so deep in my own thought about holy shit. I I remember the first 6 solid months of stream. It was just like constant 10-hour streams.
Oh man.
Yeah. Also, what the hell's this dial pod?
What pod?
Dial pod.
What?
Oh, I get to request
Huh?
drops.
No, that's new. That's new.
I send.
Did they just add that?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, then. Cool.
Wait, I forgot
But
about
yeah, it
one thing.
I think it feels really long and it feels really long partially because you sink so many hours into a thing, right? It's natural that it feels really like such a long period of time after a while. And
Hmm.
because of that, I feel like I've come such a long way, even just like emotionally, and my relationship with streaming or entertaining, or whatever you want to call it, right? Like
Yeah.
I feel like I've traveled so far, even though it's literally been a year, but at the same time it feels like I could still be classified as a new channel, like a small like channel that's still kind of starting, because I haven't been streaming for more than a year, which is just insane to think about. But yeah, I guess that's like a really long tangent just to say that yeah, streaming, I've definitely changed the way that I think about streaming since I started. And I think some people may be able to relate to what I'm about to say, which is I never really expected anything to come from Twitch. Like I said earlier, I only started streaming because I wanted to play more games. And I actually did quite enjoy streaming when I was doing it, albeit as a business decision under the Magic Rain, right? It kind of bit me the streaming bug from there. But I could have not imagined like how it would have evolved to the point that it is now, you know?
Oh yeah. Like when I first started streaming, it was mainly because I was bored and I just wanted to meet new people. And it feels, why is there an item here? I'm confused. Oh. But yeah, it feels weird to look at streaming now that I have started streaming for about a year. The fact that I've been meeting with incredible people, really. I see streaming as a very weird but still growing thing. I don't know if you see it the same, because even though streaming is very big, especially during the popularity of the pandemic, it's still very young compared to all the other mediums, because I am a marketing person. I am a nerd when it comes to marketing as well. And everything I do and look is always like within the marketing's lens. So when I first started streaming, I didn't really think about streaming at all. Then when I got into it, learned a lot more than I thought I would. I started seeing streaming through like a marketing person's lens, and it feels weird to see how streaming is as a medium. But it's really fun as well, compared to, fucking radio or there's a car.
Traditional media, you mean?
Traditional media, yeah. Like even streaming compared to YouTube videos, it feels like, you think it would feel similar, like, it's just uncut YouTube videos basically. But it's very different still. The community that you have on YouTube is very different compared to the community you have on Twitch. The people that you interact with.
Fundamentally different just because of the live aspect. Just having the live aspect of the video makes it a fundamentally like different experience, I feel. So, I am somebody that like does every project like to the max extent, right? And I've come to see streaming the same way as well. I think to say that I had a period of time where streaming was just fun for me wouldn't be entirely true, because even when I first started my channel, I knew that I wanted to see where it was gonna go. And I wanted to put my all into it and see what was gonna happen if I invested time into streaming, right? It was really interesting for me, again, I think from a marketing perspective as well, that like, oh, this is a totally new medium for me, and it might be interesting just to see like, could I make it, quote unquote. But I think where it's definitely changed is, from something that started as idle curiosity, my interest in streaming has definitely become a lot more complex over the past year, because it's no longer just to satisfy my curiosity of like what Twitch is like as a platform. I have a community here now, and I really enjoy Twitch both as a consumer and I enjoy streaming. So it's become something that's quite near and dear to my heart. And oh no. Oh no.
Right behind you.
Oh. Well. Ouch.
Stop moving.
So yeah,
For me,
like,
mainly curiosity, because I have always been a person who likes to experiment. Not to your extent, I would say. Wait. Oh, that's a bad time. I've always been curious to try, but I've never been like curious to see how far it can go. And that's the reason why I used to be very experimental with my streams. Like I would always try like the new features of Twitch whenever it comes out.
Ah.
Mm. Also, I hate the burst rifle. They are actually very annoying.
So yeah, back to what I was saying. Yeah, I guess from something that started as like this idle curiosity is definitely like become something more like, you know, how can I do this for as long as possible? Like I really have come to enjoy doing this. How can I
Mm.
make this as long term as possible, and expand on what I'm doing now, you know?
Ah, yeah, I get what you mean.
So like
Oh, whoops.
naturally, and I've been thinking a lot about what I want to do in 2023 as well, because I don't like to stay stagnant.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like I have it like down pat, you know, in terms of what I want my current streams to be.
Yeah.
And so in 2023 I plan to do more things that break the format, I suppose.
Ah.
So I want to explore more of YouTube and TikTok as alternate like content creation platforms, and also just do a little bit more on Twitch, you know, and kind of push the boundaries of what I could do for content here. And I guess that's
Mm-hmm.
where my 2023 is going.
Sorry, I was in the middle of a burp, but it didn't come out.
Dude.
It's annoying. I hate it a lot. I don't really know what my plans with streaming, cause for those who don't know, I am. Is there someone nearby? No, okay, never mind. I am currently working, but I am planning to continue my degree, specifically in game development as well. So that's a bit of a funny story, funny irony, I guess. Um, but I do want to make more content, but most likely outside of streaming. So you know, like YouTube videos and whatnot. Mainly because I want to sort of flex my creativity a bit, and also flex a bit on my, not flex in the sense of showing off, but more of like training it. My critical thinking in game design, in terms of, you know, level design, character arcs, anything to do with games, because that is something that I really do want to dive into. But yeah, like because I've been watching a lot of like game analysis videos, you know, Game Maker's Toolkit, Vars too, who does a lot on Genshin Impact. Those are like the main two ones that I watch a lot. And always been I've always wanted to make one video of my own. There's a video script that I actually have, but I just never started working on it, which was about Hazel. Do you know that character? Mr. Punchy
Yep.
Boy.
From Genshin.
Yep. This is the overall outline of the video is basically why people like Hazel, even though he's a 4-star character. Mainly because of the fact that he is very different to play compared to all the Genshin characters that we have currently. Like I still have that script, but I just haven't started working on it, and I feel like it might be just a bit out of time to do it, just because, you know, oops, shit, I hit my mic. Just because, you know, now it's Sumeru and everyone's watching about Sumeru. Like, then again, that's just my marketing brain thinking about analytics of the video. But yeah, like I really want to do more content outside of streaming, especially when I'm doing game design, because that's basically like two different ways of learning game design. One is through, you know, formal education with a teacher, and the other is, you know, just through my own analysis and sort of viewing the games in a different perspective as a designer.
That's
Oh yeah.
cool.
There's a heads up, everyone. You probably will see me less on Twitch in the future. This is me giving my first and formal warning.
It's okay. We'll still play Fortnite, guys.
Yes. That will somehow bring me into Fortnite.
Yes. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yes.
kind of a parallel, I guess. It's a bit difficult to put into words again because I feel like Twitch has been such a like long period of time / short period of time, and time is a construct and all that bullshit.
True though.
Oh no, hold on. Somebody like dropped right next to me and they have a gun and I don't.
Oh, dead. But yeah, you were saying, streaming time construct being very weird when it comes to streaming, and the fact that it's been more than a year for us, but still feels very short.
Yeah. I guess what I'm trying to say is that, you know, my idea of who I am as a content creator has changed so much since the beginning of it, and I don't know if this is the natural like pipeline of somebody who has been like streaming or getting into content creation, but I've definitely felt myself go down the pipeline of like, oh, I started streaming because that felt like the most comfortable thing for me to start with, you know, creatively. And now that I'm way more comfortable on camera and stuff, then I've seen myself take like bigger and bigger strides with content, and in a way kind of traveling down the traditional content creation route from there as well, where I want to start doing more YouTube and more TikTok and more like I'm swapping to facecam streaming like in a couple of weeks, you know? So like
I was about to hint at that, but okay.
I'm dead. Save me! Oh. Well, I'm dead. Like did it.
So speaking of streaming, because you know that's clearly not what we've been talking for the past 10 minutes. This is a horrible segue, but I will fly through it. The streaming ecosystem. You know, we're both with marketing background. We both see basically everything through a marketer's lens. How do you think streaming has grown as a medium? If you want, I can go first because I was talking about it a bit, so I can dive a bit more into in depth if you want me to.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, wait, let me sip. Make sure everyone hydrates as well. Blech. Oh, I forgot this coffee is not that great. Yeah, I mean, streaming ecosystem, like when I would definitely say streaming is now more viable for marketing. I'm not saying it wasn't before this, but because of the advent that happened during the pandemic, I think a lot of brands has started noticing streamers, and not only that, people have also grown very significantly, even after pandemic actually. I remember. Oh, there's someone with me.
You okay?
Yeah, the person could not finish me off. I remember I followed this streamer. Ha, sucks to be you. I followed this streamer. I think she had only about 300 followers. And now she has about 2,000 followers, and she's sponsored by Coda Shop. You know, hit us up if you want to sponsor us. But she's also sponsored by Coda Shop now. And I remember strongly she started streaming post-pandemic. Oop, he's low. Samurai boy. And it's just interesting to see like brands now starting to come into the streaming sphere.
Oh, what was that? Gray lever action
Lag.
shotgun, lame.
It's lag. But yeah, like
But yeah,
streaming is just it has been growing, but I still think there's a lot that streaming still has a lot of potential in terms of what it can be as a viable career, even for small time streamers. Because I'm not
yeah,
talking.
just
Yeah,
to
sorry, you first. I feel like I've cut you
no,
off like
sorry.
3 times already.
No. Sorry, just to I want to add on to that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which is that, you know, as I was explaining what my future plans for streaming were, I also kind of realized in the moment that it is very like traditional content creator pipeline, right?
Mm-hmm.
um and I think this is just the natural like course of events for a lot of people who are starting to take streaming a bit more seriously, right? Like diversification is one thing that I've been noticing so much, not just with like the recent Twitch and YouTube drama, but I think even before then, like people, like if you look at people who stream professionally, they don't only stream, they also create content on other platforms, you know. So as much as it is going to be like a creative expression for like you and me, I think it's also a matter of like diversification, because there is a lot of potential like in Twitch, yes. But I think specifically in Twitch as like a stepping stone platform.
Mm. Yeah, cause we both follow this streamer. I forgot her name. She's the one in the States and she does TikTok about streaming. Do you remember the name? I can't remember.
Caliente.
Yeah, Caliente. So for those who don't know, Caliente is an American I think streamer. Who does a lot of content on TikTok that focuses on how to grow as a streamer. And for those who stream on Twitch specifically, you would know that streaming on Twitch does not help with growth. I think Nat also knows about this very strongly, and I think we both agree on the fact that streaming is fun and it is a good platform. But if you're looking for growth, really streaming isn't the thing, mainly because of the
More
amount of streamers.
accurately, like it's not enough to just stream.
Oh yeah, definitely. But yeah, so the reason why I brought that up is because nope. The reason why I brought that up was because I remember when I was first diving my toes into streaming. Oh, hello. I remember when I first
I have a gift.
dived. Someone up there. There's still someone else here. But yeah, when I first started watching streamers during the pandemic, I hardly saw any sort of sponsorships or even like affiliate links kind of program that happened. And it's just really nice. I guess this is just like, not as a streamer, but as a marketing person, it's just really nice to see that there is a new platform that we can start promoting. And I do think like Twitch is honestly, or streaming in general actually, is honestly a very good marketing platform for advertisers and brands, because it is basically where you are the most truthful, both as a brand or as a content creator.
I think there's an interesting like irony about that statement as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know if this discourse is real or not, right? Or whether it's just me like, you know, projecting into the future, but I could see people arguing about, you know, streaming is like the main appeal of streaming is that it's authentic and that you are experiencing people in real time, and that's the appeal of maybe wanting to spend time on Twitch instead of watching like a edited and filtered like YouTube video, right? But at the same time, as like more and more content creators get more serious with Twitch and more brand deals start coming in, like is that where streamers are gonna start losing, you know, their like what made them special to begin with, you know, like that authenticity.
Oh yeah, no, I agree with you actually. That does seem like that does seem like it will be an issue. But I think we're not I don't think we'll see that as a problem anytime soon. Oh shit, I got shot in the butt.
But
But
yeah.
it's I do enjoy streaming as a like not as a streamer. I'm purely talking about from a marketing perspective. I really do think streaming still is more engaging and more like worth your buck, I guess, if you want to say it that way, compared to, you know, Instagram or YouTube posts, because it doesn't feel authentic, so to speak, like you mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely gonna be like an irony that will always be there, I suppose, because if you want to make a living as a content creator, there are only like a few ways that you can do that now, and oh, somebody's here.
Oh, I forgot to reload my gun.
And I can see, like, as the streaming ecosystem grows here, like that will definitely be a future issue. There is an actual player around you, by the way.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to look for that guy first, or the NPC.
Anyway, yeah, so I think as the ecosystem, especially in this region, like starts to grow, that's definitely like the argument that I brought up is definitely gonna become a huge point of discourse. And I think for the longevity of streamers, it's definitely up to streamers to kind of balance the level of authenticity with paid projects.
Oh yeah.
And I wish there were better, more feasible ways for streamers to earn money that didn't involve like selling so hard, right? Basically becoming salespeople, like the typical influencer path. But there, I guess at this point, there isn't really a way around it, right?
Yeah,
Because
I
it's
don't
still
think we
such
have
a
figured that out.
new, it's such a new like job, right? Like let's be real, it's such a new type of job that everybody is kind of just riding on the backs of what their forefathers have done, to put it dramatically. But everybody's just riding on what other people have done in the past,
Yeah.
and you know the overall streaming like ecosystem and influencer like ecosystem is gonna have to evolve in order for it to become more sustainable, I guess. But for now, like I think I could definitely see like a lot of not just the two of us, but also like friends and Cham drinkers going down similar pipelines of, you know,
Oh, I lag.
of diversifying to different platforms, to going down this like traditional content creator path, because that's the only thing that exists right now. I mean, I'm definitely gonna enjoy it from like you know, from the aspect of pushing my creative boundaries, but let's be real, my evolution is also very dictated by like what has worked for other people in the past. Like we can't run away from that, I feel.
Yeah, no, and that's an issue with content creation in general. Not even if you're doing it just for fun. Like if you look at TikTok, the reason why accounts like grow a massive following is because they do that one thing that just hit with viewers, basically following the trends. And that is the same with content creation as a job as well. The fact that you do have to follow the trends of what other content creators are doing. Same with Twitch as well. Like if you want to grow as on Twitch purely, which is again not advisable, the thing to do on Twitch is just to follow whatever meta that's happening on Twitch. Like when I remember, oh my god, I remember during the bathtub meta that happened on Twitch. I don't know if you're familiar with it. I
A little bit.
remember on my YouTube feed, I was bombarded with videos of like people constantly talking about the bathtub meta on Twitch, and it's just weird to me the fact that people would, or like specifically even YouTube, would push this kind of content and people would actually do this kind of content, and because they know it works. Just talking about the bathtub meta. They're not even doing it themselves. That's the thing.
They're just talking about it?
Yeah, they're just talking about it.
Ah.
Yeah, because I watch a lot of like Twitch analysis. I watch a lot Twitch analysis videos. So YouTube just thought, hey, people are talking about this meta on Twitch. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. And the amount of people that actually did it, like talked about it and never showed anything about it, is weird. Yeah, I'm stuck. I'm fine. I have the glue gun and I don't know if I'll like it.
You'll like it. It's fun.
Okay.
But yeah, sorry, I interrupted you in the middle of you talking about the ecosystem. Did you say everything you wanted to say about that?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay then.
Yeah, but yes, we can segue because we are talking about the elusive dream of being a full-time content creator. Because we have touched a bit on that, so we can segue to that if you like.
Yeah, sure. Actually, before that, I want to bring up something that Crazy is talking about in chat, which is when I say Twitch, they know it as a gamer streaming platform. That's what most people have said that you've spoken to. Well, from my observations, Facebook, Insta, and Bigo are like other platforms from which a lot of the public masses hop onto. Yeah, I think like there's a really interesting like difference between even just the streaming platforms. Like for us, the two of us are obviously like more towards the gaming aspect, and so Twitch makes the most sense for us. But there's a huge like streamer demographic on like other platforms that act completely differently from how they do on Twitch. And in fact, like a part of me feels that Twitch is a little bit more towards like the authentic side of the scale in a way, because the platform, like when it first started, was already like that, you know? Whereas like a lot of the other streamer platforms are way further down like the influencer pipeline.
Yeah.
So I feel like they very much act like traditional influencer platforms, like, you know, Facebook posting or like Instagram pages, how they would act, but just in a live streaming format.
It's yeah, I the thing is I completely understand what you're trying to say. I understand what you mean, but I don't know, like, okay, how would you explain the difference between you not YouTube but Facebook streaming, like Facebook gamer streamers compared to Twitch? Because I know what you mean, but it's just very difficult for me to say it.
I think, right, that okay, and this kind of leads into the whole Twitch and YouTube thing, right? Because I feel that the unique selling point of Twitch is its audience, right? And the reason why even the Magic Rain, right, when we were first experimenting with Twitch, why we initially started on Facebook, you know. I was streaming on Facebook for a little while there. And then we swapped to Twitch, mainly because the audience here is so different, and it was way more aligned with the audience that we wanted at the time, and it's super aligned with the audience that I want as well, which is the people who I guess it's a matter of like aligning interests, right?
Yeah.
Whereas platforms like, okay, like Facebook for example, right? I feel like the Facebook audience is very esports centric, or at least it is very esports centric in Malaysia.
Definitely. Yep. I mean, that's true. To add to that point, because I had to look into streaming on Facebook, and like the interest of esports, specifically mobile esports. I don't know if you would agree on this, but mobile esports is a big thing on Facebook
Yeah.
in Malaysia, or not even just Malaysia, but Southeast Asia.
Actually, the growth of mobile esports, just tangent a little bit, right? The
Hmm.
growth of mobile esports and Facebook pretty much come hand in hand, at least in Malaysia. Because for Malaysia, it's always been mobile gaming has been dominating for like as long as I can remember, because it's the lowest denominator like device that everybody has,
Yeah.
and as a result, like you get some of the hugest audiences on Twitch because you're attracting everybody, pretty much anybody that has a phone, which is so many people now, and it's a way younger demographic as well. Oh shit, I'm gonna die.
Hmm.
No, no, no. I'm alive!
What did you do?
I jumped. And now I'm in the storm.
Yeah, there's people around as well. Do you remember what you're talking about?
Yeah, so
Okay.
Facebook is a much younger audience. Um, wait, I'm still in the storm?
Hmm. We are quite far away from the circle.
Oh no, I thought this was the end of the circle.
Nope.
Anyway, I guess we're like still running.
Yeah, I'm still running. People shooting at you.
They're dead.
I think there's another group. Yeah, there's another group.
But yeah, Facebook didn't work out for me because the audience there was way younger, and Facebook as a platform is just way less mature when it comes to streaming. And by maturity, I mean that Facebook gaming hasn't been around for as long as Twitch has, you know. And like the main difference that I noticed from the moment I joined Twitch is that everybody on this platform has some base understanding of like how to interact with live streams, what are some like unwritten rules that applies across the platform, even if it's things like basic respect in chat, right?
Like understanding parasocial relationship.
Yeah, like people understand that here on Twitch. I feel like they understand that here way more than in any other streaming platform that I've seen so far. So like I do agree that Twitch is niche, but I think the niche like works for the purposes that it works for right now, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're on top of the balloon, by the way. What a bunch of nerds staying up on the balloon camping. We can leave if you want, because I really don't like fighting people who do this.
Yeah, we can go.
Wait.
Oh, the fuck? Okay.
Where are you going? I'm going to the circle.
Yeah, I'm going to the circle as well.
Okay. I would agree with you actually on that. The fact that this Twitch chatters and Facebook chatters are very different. In the sense that they understand parasocial relationship, the concept of a parasocial relationship better. Not saying it doesn't exist. It would be a lie to say it doesn't exist. But it feels like on Twitch you don't feel like you have to play with them. Okay, wait, no, that sounds a bit weird.
That sounds so wrong.
What I mean is in the sense that if you tell people off, like, hey, you're being a bit rude, or you're not being very nice in chat, people will also back you up in your chat because of the fact that even though you have a parasocial relationship with your community, they still understand you and the fact that they still see you as basically human.
I'm down.
Yeah, I'm running in for you.
Yeah, and then when you compare it to, it's just really interesting to like observe how different it is.
Well, that's a long
I mean,
one.
that's just Facebook and Twitch, right?
Yeah.
But when you extend it to platforms like Bigo or what are some others? I suppose Bigo is a good example of
Bigo
like
and TikTok.
other. Oh yeah, TikTok lives. Yeah,
Mm.
I feel like that one is is more like an evolution or an extension of like how existing influencer marketing works.
Yeah, because I went on Bigo for a bit as well, because curiosity. It feels weird to see the streamers kind of just do whatever chat tells them to do.
It's, I mean, it's, to put it crudely, like the ego format basically,
Pretty much.
which I would say is very similar to how Instagram works now.
Mm.
Or yeah, even TikTok. Although it all started with Instagram, right? So
Yep.
yeah, so like although those platforms may be more popular, I feel like they're fundamentally different platforms, even though all of these are technically like streaming platforms. But because of the audience and because of like not just the content. Yeah, I think the audience is the huge part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the different type of it's a different type of parasocial relationship that you have compared to Twitch, like with Bigo. It's like, if you don't know what we're talking about, I highly suggest you download Bigo. Just go to a random stream and just watch how the streamers interact with chat. It's very different compared to Twitch. It feels weird if you're coming from Twitch. Oh, Spider-Man got owned. But yeah, it's still very interesting. I don't think I like that kind of relationship that Bigo has with its chatters. Mainly because I don't like doing things for content. But not a lot, but like the more popular Bigo streamers would do things for content. Yeah.
Although no denying it might actually be easier to earn money on Bigo or even on Facebook. But yeah, it is a way more restrictive like format for sure.
Oh, whoops.
Wait, did you drop?
No. It's just I alt tabbed into
Oh,
a very
okay.
weird tab.
Okay. We could go Rocky Reels.
Ah, yes. Nat's favorite place. For those who don't know, whenever we go to Rocky Reels, we always die very quickly.
Because everybody likes dropping there.
Yep, pretty much.
Who knows? Maybe we'll be lucky.
True. But yeah, I just want to continue a bit about Bigo, but also sort of divert a bit. Like before this, I never really knew Bigo was a thing, so I don't know how well it was as like a full-time career, like pre-pandemic and during pandemic, but definitely post-pandemic, it grew, and there's a lot of people making a living out of it. It's also nice to see that that is also the same with Twitch. Like I mentioned, the fact that a lot of people actually are getting sponsored and stuff, as their streamers. sorry, I was fighting someone. And I see someone else. Are you okay?
Yeah. I am hunting somebody down.
Oh, they're above you. They're above you.
Oh,
Down, down. Someone else is here though.
I'm super low though.
I have 6 bullets left, which will be a slight issue. Yeah, so as much as Twitch has grown as like an advertisement platform or a marketing platform for brands and agencies, the sad truth is still the fact that it's not enough to become a full-time content creator. It's still not a
Yeah.
big enough platform. Cause I know the numbers for Instagram, and sometimes they can be very interesting to know. But when it comes to streaming instead, where you are you're asking someone to dedicate, let's say, a solid 6 hours minimum, for a sponsored stream, or not? Okay, maybe not 6. I would say 3 hours for a sponsored content stream. The numbers for sponsored streams is surprisingly a lot lower than Instagram, because brands still don't see streaming as a purely viable medium of advertisement.
Oh yeah, just to add onto that, right? I think if you guys aren't aware of like how influencer marketing works on the back end and how influencers get paid for promoting things online, right? It is very much a numbers game. I think everybody knows at this point that it's a numbers game. But the numbers are a lot more nuanced than you would think it is, right? And it's really dependent on how the client ecosystem like views like what they interpret as value as well, right? So like,
Yep, yep.
having 1,000 followers on Twitch might sound really awesome, but then like from what I've heard, you have to hit at least like 5k 5k and preferably partnered if you want to start getting like proper sponsorship deals that are on par with like the level of sponsorship like that you would get on par with the deals that you would get on like Instagram, for example.
Yeah.
Like having 1,000 followers on Instagram carries way more weight than
Compared
1,000
to a
followers on Twitch. Yeah.
Yeah. But the interesting thing about Twitch as well is the fact that I would say it has evolved into the next step, which is the fact that they're looking at the engagement more than your followers, which is great actually. Like they don't put as much of a heavy emphasis on the number of total followers you have, because brands are starting to understand that the total number of followers is not the true picture. Because you can have a streamer that has, let's say, like 300, or not, maybe not 300, that might be a bit too small. But a streamer that has 1,000 followers but has a very strong community of like 100 average viewers, compared to a streamer with, let's say, 3,000 followers, but they only have around 70 average views. Like brands are starting to understand that is actually the proper analytics, but I think some brands are still a bit old school and looking at
Honestly, I feel like most brands are still very old school about it, and even from the perspective of like a social media manager, right, which is what I do for my day job right now. The metrics at which they measure the success of a social media account, right, is very, very old school still.
Yeah. There's
Like,
one there, by the way.
whenever clients want to set KPIs with me for like social media account management, it will always be number of follows and numbers of likes and comments on posts, which is just
Mm-hmm.
ridiculous, right? It is absolutely ridiculous. Because here's the thing, people these days are so aware of whether something is an ad or not. And like, just think about the last time that you genuinely like engaged with an ad, which is never, right? And sometimes I even pose that question to my clients, like, when is the last time that you saw that something was an ad and you genuinely like wanted to engage with it? Because chances are like, no. you know, because people are so much smarter these days, right?
Yeah, people are more. My friend told me an interesting term, but I can't remember what it is. But yeah, the fact that people nowadays do know how to consume content. Like they are more aware of what is an ad and what isn't, and
Are
are
you fighting
more.
someone?
Yep. What do you think? I'm not speaking proper terms. Wonder. He's alone. I downed a friend already. Oh no, there's someone else here. Good luck. But yeah, like people are more
Oh,
conscious with the type
yeah.
of content that they consume because they know what is an ad and what isn't. And like that's the reason why I like about Twitch, the fact that you learn about the streamer and you know for a fact that if a streamer does take a sponsored content, it is because it's something that they enjoy. And the funny, okay, I don't know if you've seen this before with some of the bigger streamers, but they do sometimes joke about the sponsors that they get, in the sense that they only take it because they need the cash grab or they want the money and all that stuff. Like I think it's Ludwig that I'm thinking of that made the joke about the fact that the reason why he took so many ads, sponsored content, was because he wanted the money. It feels weird to hear that now. I don't know how you feel about it now, but it feels weird to hear that now compared to like when YouTube became a full-time job. When people started getting sponsors for YouTube videos, everyone would call the YouTuber a sellout and everything. But then it slowly grew into a place of like, oh, this YouTuber is now like, this YouTuber is taking sponsored content because he or she has made a significant name to themselves.
Right, like reach the
Whereas,
level of success.
yeah, exactly. And whereas on Twitch, it's like we skipped the first phase of calling that streamer a sellout. We just went straight to the second phase.
Mm,
I don't know if you've noticed that.
I think it kind of works on like both ends of the scale, right? Like,
Mm.
on one end, on the client side, they're definitely lagging behind, right? Like, to continue what I was saying earlier, I've started to advise a lot of the social media clients that I handle, to pivot their viewpoint from, focusing on number of followers and focusing on number of likes, and instead focusing on things like impressions and reach, right? Because
Yep.
that's probably the rawest number, the most representative number lah, that you can get
Mm.
from any sort of social media outreach that you're doing now. But unfortunately, like I said, the way of thinking is still very old school, to the extent where um, there are a lot of brands now who are starting social media with the intent of social media replacing the entire digital marketing arm, which is not the way that it's supposed to work.
You still need a
Sometimes, like,
website, friends. Just
sometimes,
saying.
yeah, and some of them even have the like mindset of like, oh, digital is the way to go, so I'm just gonna hire one social media person and they will be my marketing arm, 100%. Like, that's how bad like the mindset is now in Malaysia. So like on the client side, you can imagine like that's even if we engage like traditional sponsorship deals and stuff, even if we try and get like traditional sponsorship deals, this is the caliber of clients that a lot of streamers are gonna have to deal with. Those who are super like numbers focused and who don't really understand the nuances of the platform.
Yeah.
But I guess on the bright side, on the viewer side, more and more viewers kind of understand that this is the status quo as well, right? They understand that this is the only way that or one of the only ways, you know, that the streamer that they like or the content creator that they like can earn money, you know.
Yeah.
And they're more forgiving of like whenever the streamer has to take on sponsored projects, you know. And
Yeah, I think that just comes
I
back
don't think
to
that
the
whole like
fact.
sellout thing even exists anymore because that education is so widespread among
It really is.
among
Yeah.
viewers, and I wish it wasn't something that we had to change on the viewer side. I wish it was something that changed on the client side. But you know, what can we do, right?
Yeah, because yeah, going back to what you mentioned about the view, the what's it called? Oh, yeah, someone's nearby. Oh, they're right here in this building. Yeah, because it's just the fact that because people like consumers are more aware of what's sponsored, what's not. Yeah. Very low. Friends there.
Bro, I can't even see him.
Can come to me if you want. Nope, nope, he's coming to you. But yeah, I think it's just the fact that because people now see, like you said, the fact that people are more aware of what, people are more knowledgeable about consuming media, and that's kind of slowly shifted the mindset of some brands as well. Not all. A lot of brands are still old school. Ooh, that's creepy. That was very scary, actually.
But yeah, go ahead.
But yeah, it's the fact that people are more aware of the content that they consume. They're more, I mean, because of that, they became more forgiving as well, and now see as sponsored streams as, you know, or sponsored content as that streamer or content creator being successful, and that kind of shifted a bit on the marketing side. That became, you know, that I would say that was the time where micro influencers and macro influencers started to pick up. I was really
Quick
hoping you'd jump on
explanation
that.
about micro or macro. Oh, you want me to explain?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was waiting for, no, I didn't want you to explain, but I wanted you to like say something like I agree or something.
I
Just awkward
agree,
silence.
Sarah. No, I totally agree. Yeah.
But yeah, a quick explanation of micro and macro influences. I'm pretty sure I'll butcher this terminology, because I only remember it by the numbers, so net correct me if I'm wrong. But macro is smallest, right? It's like 3,000, no, 2,000 or less. I've even seen some
Tabalik.
people.
Tabalik. It's the opposite. Like
Okay,
micro is
micro is the
small and
smallest.
macro is large.
Okay, so for micro, I think I've seen some people say it's like influencers who have less than 2,000. I've seen some people say less than 1,000 as well. Then macro is like influencers who have less than 5,000. Is that correct? I can't remember the specific numbers.
I'm not entirely sure about macro actually. But I believe the numbers are way higher than you mentioned.
That's the
Like
thing. I've
even
seen people say micro for like 2,000 followers.
that would have been the old standards for micro and macro, but because there are so
Ah.
many like influencers are there out there now, right?
Mm-hmm.
um it's actually more like, to be a micro level influencers is 5K and below now, and this is
Ah.
combined with like all platforms.
Yep, yep.
um and then macro level, like those more is 5 digits and above. Oh, it's 5 digits and
Mm.
above. Those would be considered like bigger level influencers with more bargaining power with clients.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of
And
clients who like only want to work with macro level.
mm, for those who are curious why there's this definition is because um one, budget, you know, smaller numbers, smaller price. But I have worked with a couple of brands that specifically wanted to work with micro because they know even though the numbers are smaller, it has a stronger community,
Yep.
which sadly did not translate over Twitch, but it'll take time, I guess.
No, I
Not
think
me
I think
being
Twitch
salty.
has. Stop being salty. No, I think Twitch has like massive like Twitch is a unique platform, right? Okay.
Yeah,
I feel
definitely.
like even with macro level creators on Twitch, there's always gonna be that sense of like micro, you know? The
Mm,
loyalty that is, and the strength of the community. Which brings me back to the whole, balancing authenticity with like getting brand deals on Twitch specifically, right?
yeah.
Because I do feel that, like, one of the reasons why I feel that Twitch has such massive potential, like as a career, is because of that authenticity factor, right? It's exactly like what you mentioned at the start of the stream, right, Sarah?
Mm, yep.
Um, but also like the authenticity, the magical thing is that it kind of exists like no matter how big or small your channel is. Like, for all Twitch has done wrong as a platform. And it's not a perfect platform by any means, right?
Yeah, nothing will be, to be
Mm-hmm.
honest.
But yeah,
To the
they did like
lips,
a
to the blue.
really good job of like shaping the community, the audience that they wanted to have on Twitch. And as a result, like, there's that authentic feeling regardless of how big or small the channel is. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
you guys have followed, I'm assuming everybody in chat like follows their fair share of streamers, and you can probably attest to this yourself, that you follow some big creators where it is a different like feeling from following a smaller creator who maybe like responds to more of your chat and stuff. But there are plenty of big creators who still like have that sense of like home, and that like cozy community kind of vibes that I think ceases to exist in a lot of other platforms, like once you reach a certain size.
Mm.
But on Twitch, you're still able to maintain that to a certain degree. Maybe just the way that you interact with chat changes, because there's a larger quantity.
Yeah.
But the authenticity is still like so there.
Yeah, I agree. Like, obviously, if you're following with, just to add on a bit on that point about larger versus smaller, like, if you're, like, you can see, are you okay?
Did, but
Oh,
there's a friend somewhere. No, I'm not dead. I killed somebody.
okay. I mean, the friend should be nearby. Um, I was about to say something, but I kind of forgot what direction I was going with. You can have that.
No, I already have one.
Ah, okay. Actually, I know. I kind of not agree with what I was about to say. It's fine.
Dude.
That's the thing about me is the fact that I need to stop and think for a bit before I speak because I was like, because the way I think is by speaking. So if I can't like when okay, I don't know about you when you do your copywriting, but when I do my copywriting, I will talk to myself a lot just to get the right sentence that I want. Do you do that a lot?
No.
Yeah, so I'm just weird that way.
I mean, the typing out is the talking for me, you know?
Not, it's not for me. And I'm stuck. I'm
But yeah,
fine, never mind.
sometimes I do like read it out loud to get like the flow.
Yeah, but that's after you finish writing, right? Not as
Yeah.
or when you start. For me, it's when I start.
Dude.
But yeah, it's just weird. Oh, I see someone shooting. Hello? Okay, never mind. Yeah, it's why you. No, someone is shooting here. Hi.
But yeah, it really is like way too
Yep.
complex of a topic to like dissect in simple terms, right?
Hmm.
Um Partially because it keeps evolving, you know. But I gotta say I do quite enjoy where Twitch is at the moment. Not to say it's, or at least like being a streamer primarily on Twitch. I do enjoy where we are right now.
Yeah.
And I think it's a combination of a bunch of factors, right? It is the fact that Twitch has that like magical authenticity to it, right? That's definitely one of it. But it's also that the audience here is way more mature and um, kind of aware of the behind the scenes of what content creators have to like go through in order to try and turn a profit with content creation. And I think it's also because, you know, streamers are way more authentic on Twitch and maybe a bit more transparent with how content creation works for them on the back end, that there is like the audience here is way more understanding of, you know, like we can 100% skip the whole um
Style out face.
yeah, sellout phase, being accused of like selling out to brands and stuff, because the audience here is mature enough to understand that like this is something that you gotta do if you wanna earn money, you know. And like, and I think there's even a level of understanding where like, you know, if people enjoy your content and they donate enough, then you don't have to take on so many sponsored deals, or you don't have to rely on sponsorship so much. Like
Hmm.
the dis the discourse and the understanding like within audiences here has reached that point of maturity, which I feel like it has not in some other platforms, which is why Twitch works. I think the way that Twitch doesn't work, however, is yeah, it still is quite niche, especially on the client side. It's quite niche. Clients, it's still such a new platform that clients don't understand how it works. They don't see how they can extract value from it, and so that's kind of a bit of a downfall. Um,
Okay.
and as
Wait,
a
before you
result, like streamers naturally like have to diversify. There's a bunch of people out there, by the way.
Yep. There's one here as well.
Oh,
Yeah, I was about to say. What the? Oh, bloody
goo
glue gun.
gun, goo gun.
What? I exploded.
Oh,
Oh,
I
I
didn't
was
even
about
see
to-
that person.
Yeah, that was a bit annoying. But yeah, I mean, I agree with the fact that about Twitch being too new and the fact that that's the one slight downfall as a medium or a platform to be a content creator for Twitch is the fact that people still don't see or brands don't see the true potential that comes with Twitch. But the interesting thing is, I think that perspective is a very Southeast Asian perspective. Because if
Definitely.
yeah, because if you look at like the big American streamers, I'll use uh I'll use a very interesting name, Christopher Yee. He is an Asian American a streamer who does a lot of content on YouTube first about computers, because he is basically like a tech nerd about computers. He likes to talk about computers. So he started streaming. He started to expand a bit more, and then started streaming games just for fun and everything. He recently, well, not recently, but it's actually been a while. He did a stream with a I forgot what the name of the brand was, but it was basically a game, like a mobile game. And the engagement that was required by him was that people download and play the tutorial of the game, which then contributed to like the total numbers. I can't remember what the term was, but he had like a number on stream that would increase every 5 minutes to keep track. Like it's like, okay, that's very specific for like, you know, game sponsored streams. If you're talking about, let's say, F&B or clothing, that might be a bit different. That's just affiliate, which is a bit boring. But yeah, like you don't really see that around in Southeast Asia. You see that mostly in America, because the American brands have noticed, or at least some of them have noticed, the potential of streaming as a very good, strong engagement platform. I hate my nose. I wanted to continue. Another thing. Sorry.
Okay, wait. Where do you want to drop?
I'm just following where you're going.
Oh, okay.
Wait. Before I continue, is there anything else you wanna? Is there anything you wanna add on to that before you forget? Or would you like me to continue first?
You can continue because you started talking about your nose and I forgot.
Yeah. In continuation to that, before my nose became very annoying. I'm not fine. In continuation is there's this Genshin streamer, Dish. She gained popularity through Genshin, but she has also curated a very strong community on Twitch. She also does like edit videos on YouTube, but that's not the point. She was actually somewhat recently given the chance to work with Tommy Hilfiger, the clothing brand. I don't remember how to pronounce it properly.
Tommy Hilfiger, I think.
Hilfiger or something like that. But you know, it's a clothing. It's a nice clothing brand. She had Hilfiger.
Yeah.
Is that the name? That's okay. I'm not gonna question it.
It is, yeah.
But yeah, she was contacted by them to actually stream during one of their events.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so what she said on her video, because she couldn't stream on that day, but what she said was the fact that she was contacted by them to stream the event for her community. Which is nice to see, the fact that, you know, brands are starting to notice that, okay, I want this influencer or this content creator specifically for streaming, not for anything else. Why does it keep... Are you pinging that?
No.
Weird.
I'm not pinging anything.
Keeps pinging the locked chest.
Oh yeah, it pings that, yeah. Because it wants you to like claim
That's annoying.
your key.
Very
needy.
needy.
Yeah, so I remember what I wanted to say. But yeah, just to also like add on to what you just said about how far it's come for like Western streamers, right?
Yep.
The thing is, like, how long has it taken before like brands in America are starting to take notice like this, you know? Honestly, like, you know, streaming has, especially Twitch, right, has been around for so long in the States, or even in like Europe and like any Western country, right? Like, Twitch has been around for pretty long already, but it's only now that like brands are starting to like
take notice.
Yeah, and or more like, not to say take notice. Oh, I guess take notice lah, but kind of understand, you know, how the platform works and how they can use it in their favor. Can you imagine how long it's gonna take before like Asia catches up?
It's gonna take like 10 years. I don't know. I noticed
Yeah.
Asia takes very long. Okay, maybe not Asia, but I noticed Malaysia at least takes very long to adapt to new norms.
No, I think it's quite common, like even with a lot of Southeast Asian countries at least. Because I did have a discussion about this in chat one time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a really interesting like conclusion was drawn from that discussion, which is basically that people in Southeast Asia, clients in Southeast Asia specifically, right, are so hesitant to try anything new. They will only try it once it has proven to succeed in a Western country.
That is
So
actually
you
true.
know, yeah. So the fact that um streams are I mean, the fact that brands in the States are starting to appreciate streaming more is good. However, it's gonna take a while before like the trend travels here,
Mm,
unfortunately. But hopefully that means the trend will eventually travel here.
hopefully.
It's
I,
gonna take a while regardless, I
yeah,
think.
it feels like wishful thinking to see it happen during my streaming career. I feel like
Nah.
no, I feel like oh, someone's right here. I feel like it would only start being viable. What does that look like? Five Nights at Freddy's.
Is it?
It looks
It
like
might
it.
be.
Did they have a skin here?
Possibly. I don't question anything in Fortnite now.
Everything's a possibility.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just want to add on real quick. I feel like I won't be able to see it during my streaming career. Probably when I retired, I would start to see streaming as like a viable marketing platform. So that's another 40, no, not 40. Actually, yeah, no, retirement 60. Okay, maybe not when I'm retired. But like, but when I'm 40 or something, so maybe in like another 20 years. I don't know if you have the same feeling about it, but I feel like it'll just take way too long for us.
Yeah, it's gonna take a long time. Like there's I mean you could always hope that like with newer generations becoming clients, right? That things will change. But to be honest, like I have seen the cycle I've seen people go through the cycle even just from like digital marketing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um and I think it's still gonna take a while because even with like newer generations and younger people like getting into client positions, right? A lot of them are still okay. Number one, either restricted by their traditional bosses, so they cannot move forward without their bosses. Okay, so we would have to wait even longer for these people to rise into power, right? But
Yep.
even more discouragingly, right? Like a lot of people that you would think are younger and more accepting, right, actually aren't really. They're not really like open-minded to a lot of like the new things, and unfortunately they still have the mindset of like, we'll only do it if it works elsewhere.
Yeah.
So like this mindset is just, yeah, it's gonna take more than just a matter of like to put it crudely, old people dying off.
Also,
Because yeah.
okay, no, this is a sidetrack. Why does it look so saturated right now?
What's saturated?
I don't know, my screen just looks so saturated now. Everything's
Because
so
of the hollow?
colorful. Ah, that's why. Okay, I hate that. It hurts my eyes.
Okay. I got used to it already.
Yeah, I'm not the one that plays Fortnite every day.
That's true. Also, we should go.
Yeah. I need to find a better way to do this, but speaking of, I need to
Actually, no,
find
I
better
got one more thing
segues.
to add on.
Okay, continue.
But yeah, it kind of is a nice like full circle moment. Because earlier we were talking about how it's kind of the traditional content creator route, right? Where the moment people want to take it seriously on Twitch, they have to start diversifying into other platforms. And I think we've done a pretty good job of covering why that is. Because unfortunately, like, while Twitch meets our needs as creators and has the audience that we want and has all these good things going for it, the like,
Visibility.
yeah, like with the visibility with the clients and the stakeholders that really matter, right, is super low.
Yeah.
So I don't see a near future where, you know, you can only do streaming and make a living from that. I mean, unless you are obviously like the top 0.1%, which is, there are 0.1% now who just make money from streaming, which is great. But the idea is we want to reach a point where a larger slice of the pie is making like some amounts, right?
Mm.
And even with like that 0.1%, I feel like people on Twitch put in so much effort, or even not just like Twitch lah, I would even extend it to YouTube, right? But these like streamers put in some of the most effort into their quote-unquote influencing compared to all the other kinds of influencers that I've seen on other platforms, because it's just a time sink, right? Streaming is a huge time sink.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, obviously people would rather, I'm sure there's a lot of streamers who would rather, you know, earn the same amount from doing a lot less, because honestly it does get very tiring after you've done it for several years.
Mm.
But unfortunately that's just like the way it is right now. In fact, like, YouTube is seeing something similar as well, where, you know, you have to churn out content several times a week, otherwise you
Yeah.
will just lose
Like
whatever
every day,
traction you have.
basically.
Yeah, basically every day. Like the big channels are doing it basically every day, which is so tough. And people are working so much harder on all these like video centric platforms compared to others. Like, they're essentially like, they're still viewed as influencers, which is kind of, I don't really like the I don't really like viewing them as influencers, because I feel like at this point, like, they should be viewed as entertainers, you know, for the amount
Yeah, I
of,
agree. Because I don't
like, that
think
is their
it's
main
right.
job. Entertaining and creating like entertainment.
Come over here, friend. There's a zip line
Oh
there.
shit. Well, I'm dead.
Yeah. Like, I don't think it's right to call streamers influencers anymore. Like, if they are getting you to do something, sure, go ahead. You can continue. Wow, that hurt. You can continue to call them that, but I feel like the proper term we should start calling streamers and like even YouTube creators are the fact that they are actually just entertainers. Because they're not trying to influence you to buy anything. Their main job is content creation, which is entertainment. And if, let's say, they do a sponsored stream of playing a game, they are influencing you, yes, but their main job still is entertaining you. So I feel like we need to start shifting the dynamic of calling all content creators influencers. Like, influencers can now be split. Content creators can now be split into two, which is influencers as well as entertainers. Also, sorry, I can't get your badge.
I did. Also, my bitrate is going up and down, but I hope stream isn't too choppy right now. I just lowered some visual settings, so hopefully that helps.
Ooh. I am the hurt.
Wolf brings up an interesting point of streaming and content creation is very saturated, so it's difficult to get into nowadays. Yeah, I think that's a good segue into the next thing, because we've been talking about it purely from, you know, the perspective of, you know, I guess somebody that has quote unquote made it, right?
Mm.
And how difficult it is to like transition from having seen some success into actually making it a viable career. But it's a whole other thing to think about. Yeah, like trying to even break into it in the first place. And I guess we kind of briefly touched on it earlier, right? When I was saying that one of the reasons why the follower count requirements from like clients have been so high as of late is because there are just like pretty much everybody wants to be an influencer, quote unquote. That's the like thing that everybody says. Everybody wants to be an influencer now.
Yep.
That it's actually like devaluing the influencer market. And you'll see it a lot in Instagram, on Facebook, and more of these like mature influencer platforms, right? Where the requirements for followers are much higher, and in fact, when you have like the amount of followers, you might not even get paid that much.
Yeah.
Like there's a huge discourse of influencers on those platforms getting underpaid because there's not enough like good communication between them right now. Like there's no regulatory body for influencers, and so if a bunch of influencers just decide to lower the prices all of a sudden just so they can secure the job, then clients are gonna start demanding like lower prices as well. And so there's a huge discourse about that. And it's really interesting from an advertiser's perspective because I don't know if you were aware of this, Tyra, when you were working in an agency. But
Yes.
among agencies in Malaysia, I'm not sure if this is a Southeast Asian thing or just a Malaysian thing, but in Malaysia at least, I can confirm there is an advertising association called the AAA.
Oh yeah.
And or is it the 5 A's or something like that? It's like AA.
Oh.
That
Which is
basically
AAA.
set the market rate for agencies across the board. So if your agency is a member of the AAA like association under advertising, you cannot lower your rates. There's a base price basically that you have to hit, and you cannot purposely lower your rates in order to get the job over another agency, which is good. And I feel like that is the way that influencers, because it's just becoming such a big market, right? That's the only way they can get past this hurdle, is that they need some kind of governing body like that, because that's what worked for advertising, and I think it still works, honestly. Like basically a union, right?
Yeah.
Also, Bishar, thank you so much for the follow. Hi, good to see you here. But yeah, that's just one side of the influencer conversation. But as for getting into influencing in the first place, or trying to grow your presence as a Twitch streamer, oh, that's a whole other thing. That's a whole other thing.
I'm just teasing them now.
You're gonna die.
Yep.
You only got like half health, dude.
Because there's one team there as well. And okay, that team just drove off.
Yeah, it's like 7v1.
Oh, what an
Oh my
ass.
god.
I was being nice. Oh well. Yeah, I was already low on health anyways.
Should we go back to lobby real quick, by the way? I want to go to the toilet before we jump to our next topic.
You mean our final topic?
Our final topic.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, we can take a quick break.
Yeah,
It has been 2.5 hours. I do need to pee, yes.
Okay, let's take a quick break then.
If only our if only we have like a sponsored segment and then we just do the ad roll here.
I mean, technically, you can run an ad now.
That's true.
But nothing is stopping you from running an ad right now.
I'm too lazy to go through Twitch Manager and all that stuff. It's fine. I'll just put music and let people relax for a bit.
So what we've learned today is that we need to make a packeted Cham drink so that we can sponsor ourselves using our F&B money, our sweet, sweet FMCG money. Fast moving consumer good, by the way.
Kai just said self-sponsored.
Self-sponsored. I mean, it is self-sponsored. We are sponsoring our time and energy, and apparently our throat health, our verbal health. I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, speaking of Twitch and streaming as a advertisement platform and the reason why we founded Cham Drinkers, that's basically like I would say our long-term goal is the fact that we wanted to share to the world more that streaming is a viable marketing platform for any brands really. But I think I'm getting ahead of myself because that is like the
Yes.
future plans of Chum Drinkers. But I will
I
say
thought our future
this.
plans was to become an FMCG brand.
That was before the stream, before our podcast. But I would say I think that was one of the main reasons why we started talking about Chum Drinkers basically, because we were talking about this is before the Chum Drinkers existed, but we were talking about streaming as and what we see it as. Wait, someone's with me, but I don't see them. I'm confused. But yeah, we were talking about I think we were talking about marketing at one point, and then we just started talking about streaming as a marketing platform. I might be fucked. Never mind. Where are
I'm
you, by the
finding
way?
someone. Oh, they're not. It's fine. But their friend's gonna be here soon.
Yeah, their friends are here.
Oh, you're here too. Nice. Eh,
No, it's not a friend.
the car is like blocked my road.
You're welcome. That was me driving it.
But yeah, like just some backstory on the Cham Drinkers, right? And I think it's worth, explaining what the Cham Drinkers is for anybody in chat who may not know. So it was really funny because when Stara and I were first talking about the Cham Drinkers, right? We both got in literally a Fortnite game, right? As we said, everything
Yeah.
started over Fortnite.
My unhealthy addiction started with Fortnite, with Nat.
But yeah, we started with. Is there one person still alive?
Yeah, one more. Nope.
I distinctly remember this conversation as well, which makes it even funnier. Because I remember you and I, even before that, right? We were already talking about all these things, right? The Southeast Asian streaming ecosystem, our personal journeys as streamers, and speaking of, I would love for our next episode to be more about like the challenges that we faced in growing the channels and just like growth. I think is a huge topic that we could talk about and kind of relates to what Wolf said about how difficult it is to kind of break through as a new streamer now because the market is so saturated. I would love to talk about that in further in depth in the future episode.
That's a very interesting
But yeah, when
formulation
we
goes on.
were, I remember our conversation started with all of that first, and then I started to pitch the idea of doing like a Twitch team or like an unofficial Twitch team, because technically you have to be a Twitch partner
Partner.
in order to create a Twitch team.
Mm.
But I always wondered, like, what if we just did an unofficial one? Because it's kind of bullshit that you have to wait until you're a Twitch partner to form an official team. Because becoming a Twitch partner is difficult.
Mm-hmm. Nope.
And it's
I'll
kind
reply
of
to that.
ridiculous that, on Twitch, they set this, like, these parameters of success that are so difficult to hit.
Yeah, especially the fact that it's so saturated.
Yeah,
But
and I mean, it's just a tangent a little bit. It is like a little bit unequal that, um, trying to hit affiliate the bar to hit affiliate is very low compared to the bar required to hit partner. And like the amount of time you spend just as an affiliate and in this like in between period with no other sort of like rewards or tiers of like reward tiers,
milestones.
milestones from Twitch is ridiculous. The fact that they don't like incentivize their creators more and instead place this like lofty goal of partner is crazy to me. But anyway, that's just my like side note.
Yeah, no, I agree on that. Like, it's like a lot. Okay, when you guys first start streaming, you think that affiliate is like a very impossible goal, especially the 3 average viewers. I think a lot of people would relate to that sentiment. But once you look at what it takes to be a partner, that is like a whole different goal set and mindset that you need. And not only that,
even just from like a number standpoint, right? To jump from 3 concurrent viewers to 75 as the next milestone?
yep.
Hello?
But not only do you need to reach all 3 milestones, you need for it to be vetted. So people, even if you reach those milestones,
Here, by the way.
yeah, even if you reach those milestones, you still need Twitch to say, yeah, okay, we will officialize you to be a Twitch partner.
Yeah.
Unlike affiliate, where like, oh, as long as you reach this, then this, and you're fine then. So it's hard.
You can hit all the parameters and still get rejected to be a Twitch partner.
Yeah.
Insane.
I've seen so many tweets of like people who are trying to reach partner saying like they've tried it 3 times and still failed. It's sad.
But yeah, there's a whole thing.
It's a whole podcast episode right there.
Yeah.
Just us ranting about Twitch, even though we're on Twitch.
I mean, there are things I love about Twitch, and this is one of the things that like seriously needs improving.
Yeah, we are saying this mainly because we want Twitch to improve.
Yeah, and we like the audience here, and we like what exists here, but there's so much room for improvement. Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad. It's kind of sad, but kind of nice, I guess. The fact that even YouTube is now competing with Twitch for streamers.
It's good, because hopefully with competition they'll like buck up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump to the ship, by the way.
Yeah, I thought you would. There is someone there though. Just be careful. Oh, right here.
They're outside.
Yeah, they went in. That dodge. There he is. Oh, game.
Oh, I think I dropped my wrong gun. God damn it.
I'm lagging quite badly, which is annoying. Also, his friend's here somewhere.
He's on top, I think.
Yeah, seems like it.
No, he's not here.
No, he's right here with me.
In the ship?
Yep.
Oh no.
Very low. There you go.
Yeah, I'm rubber banding all of a sudden as well.
Same here.
Anyway, back to what we were saying. I had the idea for quite some time of wanting to do like an unofficial Twitch team. And then I pitched the idea to Styra, and I remember him literally saying like, "Hey, that's what I want to do."
Yeah.
And that's basically how we like got started talking about how we could feasibly do this and what it would entail.
Let me just say something that Wolf mentioned in my chat. Although slow Twitch is slowly changing, before they weren't any affiliate and just partners. Also, even if you're affiliate or partner, you can stream to multiple platforms now. Okay, that is also
Can you?
another whole. Yeah, you can. They changed the rules.
Oh, cool.
That is another whole new conversation to have. Cause, is it good that you can stream on multiple platforms now? I don't know. Also, would you
I
like
would
to?
rather Twitch fix their problems than allow this, to be honest. Because the only reason why
Yeah.
people stream to multiple platforms is because Twitch is not doing a good enough job.
You know, I mean, like I said, this is actually a very
The
interesting.
problem with diversification, right? Like the only reason why people are doing that is because they can't feasibly earn just from being on Twitch, and Twitch allowing. I mean, it's better that they allow than they don't allow, but because they're kind of like overruling themselves now, it just feels like they're giving up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, oh shit, the ring's closing.
Oh no.
I mean, the reason why they allow that is as well because they, oh no, I'm fuck. Is because they dropped the partners cut. I think I don't know what the exact term. The split. Yeah,
the pay, right? Yeah.
the sub split. They dropped it from 75 to 50%, which is the same as affiliates.
Oh my god.
Which is actually a huge drop. Like I keep telling my friends about this, but if you that's you. If you want to be a streamer, your money is not gonna come from Twitch. Your main source of income is gonna be external, which is the sponsored contents and whatnots that you do.
Yeah, or in fact, like a lot of even the bigger streamers on Twitch, like they have day jobs.
True.
They have day jobs or like some other form of like primary job where they get most of their money from. It could be like modeling or voice acting, or even it could still be within the entertainment sphere, but it's definitely not just streaming.
There's someone behind us. I want to be careful.
Yeah, I killed them.
No, someone else. Ah, come on, rubber band. It's actually not rubber banding. My game's just skipping frames.
Wolf says, I believe streaming multiple platforms is good because you get more exposure. I used to stream multiple platforms before I hit affiliate and had to do Twitch exclusivity because of affiliate, so I lost some of my old viewers because of that. Oh. I mean, it's something that I really want to talk about, like, especially with the YouTube and Twitch thing, because yeah, there may be a point where, like, people swap over to YouTube because YouTube is innovating more.
Yeah, innovating, that's the main issue with me and Twitch. The fact that I don't feel like they're innovating enough.
But anyway, yeah. So back to the reason we started the Cham Drinkers, right? To go full circle. Is that we both had... It was kind of funny because we both had the same, like, thought about this, which... Like, here I was thinking I was the only one thinking about this. Also, we should probably, like, go up from the balloon.
Oh,
I'm gonna go up from the balloon. Which is that, right? Like, in the US and in a lot of other countries, Twitch teams are used to. Twitch teams are basically used to boost other streamers and improve, like, create money making opportunities for
Visibility.
streamers. Yeah, yeah. It the one that I gave as an example, and the one that I still like follow quite closely, is a Twitch team called Neat Dude.
Neat Dude.
Yeah, they
Interesting
are
name.
based in the States, and they're a bunch of neat dudes basically. You know, they're cool dudes. And yeah, you have to apply to join the team. But when you do, they organize. You get to participate in their like internal tournaments. Whenever they raid each other. And I think it kind of helps because they're all like big-ish streamers, you know. So it mitigates the problem of them maybe like raiding somebody who isn't prepared for that amount of audience, or maybe isn't as chill. At least if they raid somebody like within the team, they 100% know that that person is cool, right?
Yeah.
But the best thing is that they do their own line of merch as well. So that's where they make like a significant chunk of their money, I guess. And that's what I wanted to do as well, because I was thinking how cool would it be if we had something like this in Malaysia, where it was just a bunch of cool people and we had merch and we did events and we did all these sorts of cool things together.
Also, just saying, there is someone right above us.
Above?
Yeah, they're on top of it.
Oh.
A bunch of nerds. I actually hate campus a lot.
But yeah, that's why we started the Cham Drinkers, and then that like conversation kind of evolved into not just like what cool things could we do as a team, but also what
goals we had in alignment.
Yeah.
Which evolved to I guess our main selling point right now, which is the fact that we want to focus a lot more on the Southeast Asian game development scene, because we're both gamers and we're both enthusiastic about our Southeast Asian culture, I would say.
Yeah.
And so that's basically been our main. Okay, I'm gonna be a marketing nerd. It's basically been our main unique selling point compared to other groups, is the fact that we want to promote Southeast Asia culture on Twitch. There. Behind this hill. Yep. 2 people on top of us.
Oh! I fell down. Hi.
Hello. But yeah, we wanted to promote Southeast Asia culture, and we have an interest with not just Southeast Asia games, but also promoting it, because there has been very good gems, like really good games that people just never really realize that it's either Southeast Asian developed or that the audience is just very small. Like for me, a personal story is Simulacra. I recently played number 3, amazing game. Though I did wish they had a bit more jump scare. But that's a whole different conversation. It's more of a review. But yeah, when I first discovered Simulacra, the very first game, I didn't know it was a Southeast Asia. It was a Malaysian developed team, and the reason why I found out about the game was because Jacksepticeye was playing it on his channel. I was like, oh, this game looks cool, and you know, he looks like he's having a lot of fun. I'll watch it. How I found out, I've said this sorry so many times, I'm still gonna say it because it's funny. How I found out that it was a Malaysian developed team was because there was one part in the game where it showed behind a doggo. It showed like a video recording, and it was Damansara Perdana. Wow, that hurts.
It was Damansara Perdana. Lol.
Yeah, like it, because if you people who are from Damansara Perdana, you know that you know the big giant red building. If you are from Damansara Perdana, you would know which building I'm talking about. Oh yeah, that's.
Oh no.
Yeah, I was fighting someone else. My bad. There's
Oh,
this
gee.
big giant building with like a red stripe outside of it, and it's a very iconic building in Damansara Perdana. So, the video showed that building, and I was like, wait a minute, I know where that building is. I even had to Google search Damansara Perdana to make sure I'm not losing my mind. And I was like, okay, I confirmed it is. The video is in Damansara Perdana. It was at least recorded in Damansara Perdana. Then I googled the name of the game. I googled the developers to find out that they were actually a Malaysian team, and it's like, it's weird to describe, but to say it simply, I would say I was very proud of the fact that we had a game that was being watched by millions of people. Yeah, and then I think that was like pretty much the start of my love for game development at first. And yeah, that's pretty much like the reason why I wanted to go into game dev when I was a kid.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm.
So wholesome.
I mean, I wasn't a kid, but I was somewhat younger. But yeah, that's like pretty much that pretty much sparked my interest in game development.
Yeah, I think one part of it, especially as we make more friends among the Southeast Asian developer community and streamer community, I think you'll see a lot more Southeast Asian focused like content from the Cham drinkers. But another huge part of why we wanted to form a team was also because
Sorry, my
it's
nose is a bit
really,
stuffy.
I mean, it comes back to like the influencer thing, right? Because it's really difficult to get anywhere as an influencer if, I mean, that initial gateway, right? Because of the numbers required from clients, right? It's really difficult to secure any sort of like client related job early on because it's purely a numbers game, right? There's no way around it, unfortunately, right? So one of the things that we wanted to do with the Cham drinkers was, what if we formed a team of people who everybody we knew was like cool and all had the same goals in terms of content, like we all did similar kinds of content. I believe we're all more focused on like we're all, okay, maybe focused is the wrong word, but like we're all interested in story-based games, and we're all interested in highlighting like indie titles and stuff, right? Like that was actually one of the requirements that we had for people, because Styra and I were interested in indie games, and we knew that some of the initial like projects that we would be doing would be indie focused. So we literally told people who wanted to come on board that like you have to be willing to like try new things, right? Indie games being one of them. And with that like alignment of everyone's goals, then what we can do for you guys is basically advocate on your behalf, right? Like between Styra and I, we can pitch the Cham drinkers to clients and talk about how, you know, we have like this awesome group of streamers who are interested in featuring your game, and we have a combined, you know, reach of this amount of people, and it's a way higher amount than if you were just trying to push yourself as an individual influencer, right? And so that was the idea, you know, like give like create opportunities for streamers where they usually wouldn't be able to unless they're like way further along um in their career, right?
Mm.
And I think so far we've managed to do that. I think there's a long way to go in terms of like what we want to do and the kind of projects that we want to secure, but we've already managed to do quite a few, which I'm quite proud of.
Same here. Like I am. Oh, someone's nearby. I am glad that we were able to even. Like honestly, I'm glad that we got the support from the developers as well. Because there was one developer. Was it Space Engineers? Yeah, it was Space Engineers. The fact that they also wanted us to do giveaways, because that wasn't what we had in mind. So when they were like, hey, you know what, we'll do a giveaway with you guys, I was actually very surprised. The fact that they were willing to do that, and I was very happy and proud of the fact that we've grown that much already collectively, and I can only imagine how much more we can do in the future. I swear to God, I'm hearing someone, or maybe I'm just going insane.
I think you're just going insane. Maybe you're hearing me.
Maybe. But yeah, I mean, we have a lot of interesting projects that we are working on. There is one really big project I would say I'm very interested in, and I think Nat as well is very interested in, but it's still very early.
I cannot talk about.
Yes, we both cannot talk about it, but it'll still be a while, so don't expect too much soon. But I would say, okay, I'm not trying to be cringe, but I would say I'm very proud to be doing it with Nat and with everyone else from Cham Drinkers.
Aww. So cringe.
Shut up!
You set yourself up, man.
Sorry?
You set yourself up.
That's true. But yeah, that's like a very long-term thing. I think what we can discuss about in terms of short goal plans is that we do want to collaborate with a lot more Southeast Asian developers and also indie developers. I guess you could say we're starting to branch out a bit more. I once, oh my God, I don't know when this is gonna happen, but I'll still say it. I'm gonna say this just so that I can put myself accountable when I don't do it. But
wow, okay.
Once I stop work in December, you will see more Cham Drinker content. You know, either like short videos for Twitter, on TikTok kind of thing. I am saying this now to hold myself accountable.
Nice.
But yeah, a lot of the content.
I'll take it.
Yeah, we will try to expand more. One of the easier ways, obviously, is by making content outside of Twitch. Going back full circle to the very beginning of the top podcast.
Yeah. Also, shall we get out of here?
Yeah, I'm slowly walking. We're not that far.
Well, see you.
What about you,
on the
Nat?
walk.
I'll walk. What about you, Nat? What are your not to say short term, but what are your short term goals for Cham Drinkers?
I think for the Cham Drinkers, we're still very much in the beginning stage.
Also, someone's using it.
Oh, how do I get a card?
I don't think it's a good idea.
Oh.
Oh, you killed him.
Yeah, but no,
I'm very worried.
I'm
See, walking is healthy. See who's down, huh?
Oh. Who just killed people? Me.
That's true.
Okay, one.
You did most of the damage.
Yay. Firepower. Literally.
But yeah, what are your goals with Cham Drinkers? Personal goals, I guess.
I think for the coming year, I want to focus on fulfilling a lot of the things that we wanted to do from the start, right? Because I feel like we haven't achieved that 100% yet. Like, like I want to continue. I want the Cham Drinkers to continue to be kind of like, or at least for the two of us to continue to be like that business arm, right?
Yeah.
Because the whole idea of bringing all these streamers on board is that, you know, hopefully this gives you more opportunities to like work with clients in like a business capacity than you would have without the Cham Drinkers, right? And as long as we can maintain that, I feel like that would be good. Hold on. Wait, where? Huh?
Yeah, he jumped around. Wow.
Wow. Anyway.
Oh, there was 3 people around us. Wow. Okay, never mind.
But yeah, as long as we can keep doing that in the coming year, I think I would be happy with that. But there are a couple of how do I put this? One of our like long-term or mid-term like goals with the Cham Drinkers was to bring in brands that people cared about, like specifically. Like we don't only have gamers, we also have like digital artists on board. Like it would be really cool if we could bring in some like artist related brands. Or even if it's like specific indie games that certain streamers are looking forward to, it would be cool if we could draw those like connections for them. Because currently we've been approaching it in a more general sense, right? And kind of like, just to give you guys like a behind the scenes peek, right? We basically like open the floor to everybody and see who is interested in taking up what. But not all the games floats everyone's boat. So in the coming year, I think it'll be cool if we did more like targeted things where we help fulfill in a cringe way help fulfill like the collaboration dreams of like specific members, because that's the whole idea, right? Like, you know, maybe by themselves they don't have like the bargaining power to like secure a client like that, but maybe together we have it.
I mean, it's also the fact that since we're both from marketing, we pretty much know what clients would want. So we pretty much act as like the middle. We want to try to act more as the middle person. Relating to what Nat was mentioning, we want to act more as the middle person to encourage people to look for we want to encourage people to look at sponsors that they're very interested in, not just games. Oh, okay. Oh, I might. Oh, okay, never mind. Fuck it. Do you want the glue gun? I don't like it.
Yeah, give me the glue gun. The glue gun.
The glue.
Is the glue gun? Oh, there's one here, so never mind.
I'm calling it glue gun. I don't care.
Nice. Kotlin? No, glue gun. Glue gun.
Glue.
Ah! Glue gun. Oh, y'all talking about coding stuff. Never mind. I was like, that's a weird way to like spell glue gun. But yeah, I think that kind of like covers it.
Yeah, I think we pretty much talked about everything we wanted to talk about.
At least for today.
Mm.
Do we have a preview of what future episodes would contain? By the way, I think this will be like a bi-weekly thing.
Yes, just to let you all know. Uh, that is a good question. What do we want to talk about in the next episode?
I think eventually we do want to bring in guests to talk about like their individual streaming journeys. I think it'll be really interesting to talk about like why they stream and what challenges they faced in streaming so far. Like, but I think we'll have one more episode at least. That is just the two of us.
Mm.
Maybe next episode will be about the growth thing, the growth topic.
Oh yeah, we didn't really dive into that much.
Yeah.
Also,
Actually,
just
come to think of it, we did go like pretty high level right off the bat.
Yeah.
I mean,
but I still feel like there's a lot more that we can talk about.
yeah.
Also,
think so.
quick question to you, Nat. So who do you want to scam into playing Fortnite?
Oh, Mon for sure.
That is how I'm gonna ask her every single time. As to who she wants to bring as guest. I'm just gonna ask, who do you want to scam into Fortnite?
I mean, we'll probably start with the Cham drinkers.
Yeah, I think that might be a bit easier.
What, to scam?
Yes.
So mean.
I'm not wrong. Look at me now.
So you two will be playing Fortnite every fortnight?
Holy
Actually,
shit.
that kind of works out.
I did not realize, yeah.
Me neither. It's
I
perfect.
I hate this.
It's poetic.
Why did I sign up for this?
Too late, you're stuck.
So wait, what's the name then? Is it Fortcast Fortnite Fridays?
Fortcast Fridays.
We need a new title now to fit that in.
Fortnite Fortcast Fridays.
Yeah, it's not
Or
half bad.
Fortcast Fridays every fortnight.
I-
On Fortnite.
On Fortnite. I think every
Fridays every fortnight on Fortnite.
with Fortnite. Our future sponsor is gonna be Fortnite. Oh my god, imagine that.
Hey, please, please.
Then
I wanna.
our title will be even longer.
Sponsored by Fortnite.
Oh my god.
Fortcast Fridays every fortnight, sponsored by Fortnite. Hey, every fortnight on Fortnite, sponsored by Fortnite.
My brain's already not processing what you're saying. Just saying. But yeah, I think
Yeah,
they're pretty
like
much
the growth thing.
covered. Oh, yeah, okay. We can definitely talk about that next. But yeah, like I was saying, I think that pretty much covered all of what we wanted to discuss today. If you guys have any questions, any comments, any thoughts, feel free to leave it, and then we can perhaps discuss. Cause it is only 12:30, and I don't think Ned and I are gonna sleep anytime soon, so we'll still probably stream for a bit.
Really?
It's
I
Friday
mean,
night.
I'm probably not gonna sleep, but I do have
Okay.
work to do.
Oh, okay. What time would you like to end then?
Maybe in about half hour.
1 o'clock? Okay.
Really?
That
No,
is
I got work to do. Unfortunately.
sad.
I mean, just to touch on it casually, like, yeah, there's no way to, like, this is the one of many jobs that I have to do in order to make a living.
You wanna fight her?
Out of curiosity, have you ever... Oh, you mean the NPC? No.
Yep.
Oh my god. I like how I said no and then you immediately start shooting her. Dude.
I'll fight her alone then. Wait, are you saying?
Yeah, out of curiosity. Oh no. Did you ever have a period of time where you were like, oh, maybe I could stream and like earn money from it full time, or were you like disillusioned from the start?
I think I was disillusioned by the start. Like, I really wasn't paying attention to reaching affiliate much. Also, someone's nearby. Yep, they're here. That's a sniper. I didn't really care much about hitting affiliate.
DMR.
Mainly because I just wanted to do it for fun. Is that you?
Yeah. Arson is back!
Do you want to bounce off? I have a shockwave grenade. You can bounce
sure.
to the tornado.
I'm the tomato?
Nope. Tornado!
Oh no, where are they? Oh. Oh,
Why are you shooting me?
Did you take damage from that?
No, but a friend's still here, up there. Hello? Friend?
They're gone?
I don't see them.
Oh.
What did he drop?
They dropped.
No, he's not on there.
Want me to find out?
Oh no, he is. Dog's chasing him.
The glue gun is so evil. I don't know why you don't like it more. Is it because it's a tool of arson?
Yes. That's not the friend, surprisingly.
I don't think I even got him once. Oh!
He's below.
Luis. You better fort that night within Fortnite. Inside the Fortnite while forecasting. Oh wait, take this. But yeah, you were disillusioned from the start.
Yeah, because I think I was a bit perceptive in the sense that I knew probably can't. But it's just nice to see that like the big streamers making a living out of streaming. But I never really wanted to stream full time. Because yeah, I never really cared about reaching affiliate. I mean, it was nice when it happened, but it wasn't like a main goal that I had.
How did you get
No,
that
friends
hit?
down here. I just
You
dropped.
took fall damage.
No, I didn't. Ah, fuck
Well,
off.
I took fall damage.
Friends is coming to me.
Oh no. Oh! Nope.
Blame the lag. What about you? Were you at any point in your streaming life you felt like, "Ah, okay, I can make this into a living"?
Maybe like wishful thinking, sure, but like it's not. I didn't even like indulge the thought for very long because it becomes really clear really fast, especially once you hit affiliate, that it's not possible.
Especially the early days. The 100 USD.
I mean, even the 50 USD cash out is quite steep, to be honest.
I mean, for Malaysia,
especially
yeah.
for Malaysia, because it's times 4.
Then also the fact that it's now they do have the localized pricing, so it's even less.
Yeah.
Like
So, yeah,
legit, per sub that you get is only about 50 cents, less than that.
Mm-hmm. 50 cents
Per
USD, that
Malaysian
is.
sub. Yeah. Yeah. 50, per Malaysian sub you get 50 cents USD. Less than that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like it becomes really clear really fast. And I think it's like
Yeah.
deceivingly. I'm sure there's some people out there who still feel like it's possible because when you follow big streamers, it feels very possible, to be fair. Like,
Mm.
they get donations and subs and bits and whatever, like, so frequently on their streams, and you think to yourself, like, oh, I just have to, like, amass a following that will do that for me as well. Which is, like, it sounds simple in theory, but, like, is in reality is very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, like, I think a lot of people don't realize that even the biggest streamers on Twitch don't make all their money on Twitch. They
It's
have
not.
partnership deals or they have like external jobs. Some of them are literally like they have day jobs. Some of them literally have day jobs
Mm.
while they still do like Twitch as a Twitch partner. So even hitting Twitch partner is not enough to like justification to say that, you know, oh, I can make Twitch a living now.
Do we want to talk about the leaked sub count? Do you know about that?
What's that? No.
So someone leaked Twitch's top 1,000, I think. Total earnings from subs for the past 10 years or something, some big number.
Oh yeah. I did see that, but just briefly.
Do you remember what the top 100, what the number is for?
No, I don't.
I
I only
think
like briefly saw about it.
okay. If I'm not mistaken, it's only like the top 60, less than 100, I think. I need to check the exact numbers, but even only they get more than the minimum wage. It might be top 200 actually, but yeah, like someone did the maths on the leaked sub payouts, and only like the top 500 of the very top only made more than living wage through subs. Obviously, we're not talking about donations and sponsorship money.
No, I fell down.
I'm coming. But like, if you're talking about purely money from Twitch itself, bits and subs, it's only like the top 500 or some shit, which is
Does
scary.
anybody in chat know the number?
The exact number.
But yeah, like a lot of them do a bunch of other things, like some of them like within the entertainment sphere, or some of them like not even in entertainment or gaming. They just like have regular ass day jobs.
They're normal people.
Yeah.
It's
Or
interesting.
even for those that content create like most of the time. Like I know this streamer who is a photographer, right? So she sells prints and her artwork and stuff. And she gets hired as a photographer and whatnot, and that's like part of her income. But she's also on other platforms like Fan House that apparently people are earning quite a bit from Fan House because it's essentially like Patreon.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it's essentially like Patreon, but the good thing is that they take like 0% of the fees, which is insane. So I've been seeing a lot of like Western content creators do Fan House, and there are like Southeast Asian equivalents for that as well. There is Gank. And in fact, even coffee. I've been trying to push coffee a lot more because coffee takes 0 fees. Like, there are no fees. You get
Mm.
100% of whatever like donations you get on coffee, which I feel like is also like more worth it from a viewer standpoint, because like when you, it's just so sad that when you give the sub to
A
a
streamer.
streamer, that like majority of it doesn't even go where you want it to go. It goes to Twitch, which kind of sucks. Like the only way I would like push subs now is because I wanna hit like that max emote slots. But other than that, like I wouldn't, I stopped pushing subs, to be honest. And now that I've hit the max emote slots, I'm not gonna push subs anymore. Like, there's no reason to. There's seriously no
Mm.
reason to, because the amount that Twitch takes is so ridiculous.
You know, I thought of opening a coffee account or something, but I feel bad if people just donate and I don't provide additional content to them.
That's partially why I didn't start a gank account. Because I feel like coffee, to a certain extent, is still like it's less focused on the additional content that you can provide, although it can definitely be used that way, right?
Mm.
But for me, like the way that I see coffee is that, you know, if you want to support me and you want like all your money to go towards whatever I use it to upgrade this stream, pay my bills or whatever, you know, then at least like through coffee you know that it's 100% coming my way. Versus, you know, if you do it natively on Twitch. Even Twitch also, I've been pushing like bits more than subs, to be honest, because the cut for bits are higher. And I feel like if you want to
No, I mean,
support me, like at least there's that.
mm. Also, a quick correction. Bits is 100% goes to you. It's just that
Oh.
the person who buys the bits will have to pay tax.
Oh.
Pretty sure. Pretty sure like 100% goes to you. So
Oh.
if a person donates 1 bit to you, you get the full bit.
Oh. I guess that's
Mm.
better in a sense.
Oh my god,
Well,
this
it's better
person
than
cannot
like,
revive.
you know, 50% of the
Mm-hmm.
sub going to Twitch, the sub money going to
Even
Twitch, which is ridiculous.
even if it's actually no, 1 bit is 0.01. Never mind. I'm being stupid. For a second, I don't know why I thought bit was $1. I was like, that's not
No,
right.
it's not.
1 bit is 0.01 US dollars.
Yeah. But yeah, like I didn't want to start a gang because I feel like gang or Patreon are even more focused on like the additional content, and I don't have anything to provide in that area right now. Uh, oh, sorry, I didn't read it yet. One more lah, and then
Oh,
I'm probably gonna call it. You can go on for longer though if you want.
you know I don't play Fortnite off without
Haha! I
you.
mean, you could do other things.
Mm, probably not. Probably end stream as well after this.
Okay. Tafke is asking, what do you guys think about YouTube Live? Sorry if this was already discussed. No, not really. We haven't really. I think we can briefly touch on it.
YouTube live meaning like the difference
Live
of
streaming on YouTube?
yeah. We talked more on Facebook. We didn't really talk about YouTube.
Yeah. YouTube, I think it
Uh,
definitely warrants like we could definitely touch on it more in the next stream. But
mm,
basically like people have been asking me, right? Like, are you gonna be swapping to YouTube? Because that's kind of what a lot of people are doing right now. Swapping to YouTube. Just because
true.
like YouTube is innovating a lot more as a streaming platform. And
YouTube still has the 70-30 cut, just saying.
yeah, and my answer to that has always been the same, which is that it sounds tempting, right? But I don't think I could feasibly go there unless the audience moves first.
Mm,
Like I will go if the audience on Twitch starts to move towards YouTube, then I might eventually make the jump as well. Um, but it's I yeah I don't think that's gonna happen anytime soon.
For me, it's mainly just the fact that the branding of Twitch is still the strongest. Like, as much as we joke about, YouTube being the next live streaming platform and everything, for the next, I would say at least 3 years, when people think of live streaming, it will be Twitch, not YouTube. Like, they have been making strides, I agree, and the strides have been really great, and also the fact that they're buying out the biggest streamers on Twitch. But people
I
still,
mean, even the streamers that got bought out, like, have publicly said, if I'm not mistaken, that unless you're getting a big check from YouTube to switch platform, don't switch platform.
yeah, that's what
Because
Ludwig
it's
said.
really difficult if you're doing it organically, right?
It is. Like, or unless you already have a following on YouTube as well. But then
Yeah.
again, I have heard some people say that it's still better to separate, just because, like I said, when people say when people say streaming, the first website you think of is YouTube, not sorry, Twitch, not YouTube. Are you okay?
Yep. Okay, I'm gonna hire Stash because he dabbed. Oh my god.
I'm fine.
Prime shotgun, baby. And honestly, I would be keen though to like move to YouTube because I consume way more YouTube than I consume Twitch, to be honest. And I part of my 2023 plans is to see like what kind of content I could create on YouTube. Nice. And yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes. But at the same time, I'm not like putting too much stock into it. Like I know somebody who like already swapped over to YouTube, if I'm not mistaken. Although I'm gonna have to go and follow up on their journey. But yeah, it was very interesting. That they were the first person that I saw who like decided to swap to YouTube first, and their justification was that they wanted to make the swap before everybody makes the swap so that they could be there before like the trend follows, like they could be at the forefront of the trend basically.
Okay. I mean, that's the thing about trends as well, is the fact that we will never really use it until later.
Well, back to lobby. I'm tired also.
Okay, no worries.
But yeah, you were saying that's the thing about trends.
It's the fact that it's more of hype than actual actual statistics as to if it will actually be a thing. Because yeah, people are slowly diversifying onto YouTube as well, but you also have to look into who your target audience is. Like in Malaysia, or in Southeast Asia especially, if you want to stream and the games that you stream are the more competitive one, don't come to Twitch, just stick on Facebook, because Facebook is the place for those kind of target audience. So I'm just curious as to what the target audience would be for YouTube streaming.
True. Man, speaking of like it being a trend, right? I just like there's this huge like business myth, right? about like, oh, these businesses succeeded, become the next Apple, because you pivoted fast enough and whatever, right?
Yeah.
It's a business myth. Like, there's no such thing as like pivoting to a trend just for the trend's sake. There, like, when in reality there's actually so much like calculations, and like they calculate the risk so much before they even pivot. Like, obviously, like, there's a certain like percentage of just like taking the risk, but it's not feasible in this day and
It's
age.
not.
Especially like when you think about it, like, those are businesses, right? It doesn't apply the same way to like streamers. And we've seen so many streamers or even like influencers across the years who kind of overestimate their reach and come up with like projects that fail like tremendously just because they didn't understand their audience. Like, I think recently there was a TikToker who decided to invest like 5 digits into making their own short film. And then the short film, he only premiered it to, like, it was ticketed basically. So only his patrons would be able to see the short film, and he was hoping to make the money back from there. And the justification for that, for doing that, right, making that decision, was that he had 1 million plus followers on TikTok. But this is like a gross misunderstanding of like the audience on TikTok, a gross misunderstanding of like online audiences in general, and how like reluctant they are to swap platform, and what more like when you gatekeep something with like money, right? Make it ticketed like that. Like,
Yeah, the moment you add paywall to anything, you'll significantly decrease the number of views.
yeah, so I can't help but feel like when the people who are making the swap now, because that's what the trend is saying, maybe they need to think about it a bit more. I mean, obviously,
I agree.
individual audiences, and maybe it will work for their audience, but I'm sure there's like a good percentage of people who are just jumping because of the trend as well. And we can kind of see it with Twitter as well, where people are jumping ship off Twitter. Some of them are like shifting to Tumblr permanently. But like, I'm telling you, like, after this, like, I don't know, like 3 weeks of turbulence with Elon Musk is over, Twitter is gonna stabilize back again. And people are just gonna stick to Twitter, even with them like talking shit about Twitter and like threatening to leave, right? Nobody's gonna leave. Trust me.
Online boycotts really don't work.
Yeah. So even with the YouTube, people boycotting Twitch for YouTube thing, I'm very hesitant with that. I'm probably gonna observe the situation for way longer, and again, we will probably see it happen in the Western sphere first, and then if it works there, then it's gonna come to Southeast Asia. It's coming full circle, the topic.
I like how everything just relates to each other for our podcast.
Our forecast.
Podcast. I was about to say that, and then my brain farted, and then it just went back to podcast.
But yeah, good session today. I think that was a successful first episode.
I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. I think we're all like brained out. Like, we've used our brains to the fullest extent already. It's done. It's done. Our brains are already shut
I
down.
just realized you put talk shows and podcasts for your title. Interesting.
Testing. I'm testing.
Fair enough. I think people will be very confused. I think it's a good idea, actually. People will be so confused as to like, why is Fortcast oh my god, it's not working. Why is Fortnite in talk shows and podcasts?
Right? It's like a weird like reverse psychology thing.
It's to get them. It's to get them very curious to click.
I
It's
like
actually
how Piazzin said that dead silence for a solid 5 seconds was a mood.
true.
We're tired. Our
Yeah,
brains are like maxed out. Usual podcast episodes are like freaking an hour or two at most.
this is how long? It's already been 3.5 hours. No,
Almost
it's
4 hours.
4. Shit.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm quite satisfied with our discussion today.
Hmm.
And I'm looking forward to our next one. I think there's a lot more to be said about like growth as a smaller streamer, and I'm surprised that we didn't touch on it this episode actually. That our discussion like didn't even pivot that direction.
Yeah, it didn't. Even though it's in the notes, we did not touch that at all.
Yeah. Well, I guess next episode.
Hmm.
Look forward to it.
Look forward to our podcast every Friday. Fortnite
No.
Fridays.
Fortnite Friday. Every Fortnite Fridays. Ayo.
That's gonna have so much fun working with that title now.